Good afternoon, everyone. Carasoft Technology would like to welcome you to our ServiceNow webinar, Managing NASA Facilities with Modern Field Service Workflows. At this time, I'd like to hand the floor over to our speakers. Kevin, the floor is all yours.
Heather, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody. I presume you can see the slides on the screen. Heather, if they're not showing, let me know. Appreciate everybody joining this afternoon. My name is Kevin Adler, and I support NASA as well as a few other civilian agencies here at ServiceNow, focusing on our customer and industry workflows. And we'll be talking with you in the next hour about managing NASA facilities with modern field service workflows provided by ServiceNow. We do have the standard safe harbor notice for forward-looking statements to get through. And now we'll begin our conversation around facilities management. The ability for NASA to provide service, really, this is a famous quote that I found. Facility service is at the point of intersection between NASA customers and their operations. So I thought that was a very good quote that I found in my preparation for today's presentation, and I wanted to include that there. It makes sense of all of the work that NASA does around the different locations that it manages, with all of the assets or the parts or the stuff that they have to keep current on. And that's really the challenges that they face, and many of our civilian customers face, for managing different types of facilities. Really, it's working with multiple systems. Oftentimes, those systems are disconnected or siloed, and there's a lot of manual processes involved, from getting information from one system, going to another system, and making decisions based on those separated or siloed systems. It's really a lack of resources, the talent to manage these facilities, and the talent that's necessary to train when new talent comes on board in the NASA world. Also, the contractors or the subcontractors. So, hiring the skilled talent and getting them to focus to achieve the mission the first time with the best resources, that's another challenge. And then lastly, it's planning for all of this work with regards to scheduling, with regards to parts availability, with regards to making sure you've got the right talent at the right location at the right time. So when Eduardo and I focus on solving problems for facilities management, really it's a lot of the problems that we see are an inefficient process to managing those siloed processes and those disconnected technologies. So you can see on the left side of the website, you'll be able to see the omni-channel that typically customers or mission partners or different groups within the agency, which in NASA, can request products and services. And those requests travel along their journey, and they get lost in a sea of spaghetti, I call it. The inability for tasks to be managed and tracked efficiently, so that at any time you can find out where the next service technician is, what is her estimated time of arrival, and does she have the right parts with her to manage that asset or that facility. The result that we see typically is poor experiences, not only for those services being delivered to those customers or those mission partners, but also to those employees or contractors or subcontractors that need to manage data in siloed applications or manually using paper, pen, or spreadsheets or other types of tools available. So what ServiceNow offers is a different way business from soup to nuts, eloquently from the beginning to the end of the workflow. You still have that capability to deliver a clean interface, a portal or an omni-channel portal to that end user. And again, that end user can be internal, could be another agency, could be external, doesn't matter to ServiceNow. But the ability for that work to be identified where it is on the workflow taskbar. So you could actually see mission operations has the next step, or procurement has the next step, or it's out for a third-party contractor to validate. That's where the process is currently standing. Or if I need to close that process or open up additional information for that process request to manage that facility, it can all be done eloquently through self-service channels made available through ServiceNow. And when you open up the capabilities of ServiceNow and unlock all of the workflow potential that we deliver to customers who can use a self-service digital catalog. It's easy to use, requires no training. Those requests can be automated, with machine learning, directing them to the correct personnel in the organization within the location to accurately address and correct or move forward to the process, and then deliver that information out to that end user or that mission partner so facilities can be managed in a number of hours or days, which drives up the satisfaction level greatly. The ability also to manage all of this on a holistic platform, you can see the 25% improvement in first contact resolution. If we knew the dollar amount for each percentage point, you could actually determine the dollar of savings for having all of this done resolved at the first contact resolution. The lift of productivity is more than a third in work order management, and the deflection, 75% in technician administrative time, because those technicians can use mobile devices they're probably already using today in disconnected or connected modes to solve all that administrative checkbox and signatures and inspections, all that administrative work which they need to complete as well. So the ability for facility service maintenance best practices, providing that effortless service experience. You hear that word a lot from ServiceNow, the ability to give customers a self-service personalized portal. And through that portal, they can make the requests, they can check the status of those requests for facilities maintenance, or they can track them along well as scheduling those appointments. That will obviously increase the frictionless experience for the customer, for the service personnel, and for all of those groups supporting that workflow. And then being able to deliver a proactive communication if there's, I know a couple of days ago we had a storm out, so that knocked out all the electricity. We had a personalized proactive outreach from the power company alerting us that they knew the power was out and there's no need to call. So that deflects calls from the power company, just like NASA could deflect calls for their customers and provide proactive communications or status of the technician's updates if need be. We can arm technicians with the correct and easy to use tools, giving the technicians access to information, knowledge base, giving them access to manage their parts, their installation tools, their service history, or allowing those technicians to collaborate amongst themselves all on a handheld device is really going to increase the mission attainment of managing a facility. And then when work is complete, if the technician needs to capture signatures or create a system of a document to validate that the warranty work or the inspection work or the installation work was completed correctly, they can do that as well through ServiceNow. And then finally, when you connect these agents to the entire organization, and that's really the beauty of the holistic end-to-end workflow capabilities, ensuring that full visibility of all of these facility issues can be accessed by anyone who needs to have access to that information. So we always say connecting field service to customer service to beyond, and that's really going to drive the mission forward quicker because these issues will be resolved much, much, much more rapidly. And then you're also able to track and manage and assign the correct resource throughout the departments to the correct issue to be resolved as well. There's a lot of work involved with digitizing facility service management. This is a great screenshot showing the complex capabilities that field service management or facility service management supports out of the box, managing the entire connected enterprise, workforce and scheduling, resources, the right personnel, and then of course, executing the actual work or job, empowering the right contractor or subcontractor and giving them only the information they need to do to achieve their tasks or getting the job done. This allows NASA to manage demand service for break fixes or scheduled work, or be proactive with the way in which they manage their facility work, or scheduled or unscheduled work, and even extending the work that can result from a project. If there's a multi-year project to build something, that's going to have a lot of smaller tasks associated with that project. And field service management, facility service management from ServiceNow can absolutely integrate with project management service, giving you that holistic end-to-end platform for field service management, taking advantage of the right person, the right location, skill set, inventory, knowledge, and the ability to do that within the service level agreement that NASA or any of our customers have, and then track all of that back on the Now platform. and integrate that into the existing systems of record, which might be Oracle, it might be Microsoft, it might be Maximo. It doesn't matter to ServiceNow. If there's an application program interface, we can integrate with that and serve as that frictionless system of action. And that's going to drive up results. That's going to drive up the ability to execute work orders and tasks, manage the scheduling and the dispatching of those personnel, and then keep track of all of those assets and those many different parts, and then report back to those leaders who need to know or want to know what's the status of this being resolved, what are my main challenges to resolve, or where am I seeing workflow correctly, and how can I emulate that success throughout other parts of the organization. So what ServiceNow provides really is a total asset lifecycle management. We call it a TALM solution, the ability to plan, project planning on the far left, from asset acquisition and procurement. We've got workflows for that. We've got the ability to manage all of those parts and equipment in warehouses stored around the country or around the world, managing ordering rules, managing loaner rules, transfer rules. And then once it comes time to deploy those assets, how do you install them properly and ensure that, again, the right technicians are focused on getting the right job done first, the first time, and the first truck roll? And the ability to manage servicing those assets once those items are stood up in the field. And then if there's safety recalls, so which of those assets are impacted by those safety recalls, and we'll be able to, ServiceNow will be able to provide guidance specifically for which assets are impacted. And then when it comes time to decommission those assets, the ability to dispose of them properly, to track where they're going, to recycle what you can, and to dispose of what you need to, or reclaim parts of that asset. The ability to deliver all of those assets, decommission them based on business rules that are maintained by NASA, that's really the value that ServiceNow offers NASA or any of our customers with facility service management. So with that, I will take my microphone off, and while we're switching over to Eduardo for the demonstration, welcome anytime there's a question, you can throw it in the Q&A panel, and we'll be monitoring that as well. So with that, I'll flip it over to Eduardo.
Thank you, Kevin. Kevin, if you can just stop your screen share, and I'll be able to start mine.
You got it.
Great, thank you. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, as Kevin was saying, I'm going to do a quick demonstration here just to showcase how you can leverage our platform and the tools we built to help you manage your facilities and help users make requests and help you support those requests quickly. So as part of the demo today, I'm going to start here from our customer portal, which is where all your users, employees, contractors, or visitors can go in and view information. They can submit requests. They can look up status of all of the requests. So this is the one place where all your users can go to and find what they need and access that information quickly. So as part of this portal here, so I'm logged in as Julie Lewis. But you can also browse this as a guest. This works from your cell phone, so anyone can look up, pull up this portal for your organization and look up information. So here I can do searches to look up knowledge articles or procedures, data on what services are available to me, how to submit those requests, and all the types of requests that are available. And all of the information can be tailored to the user who's logged into the site. So based on who's logged in, or if I'm just a guest, I can configure this application to show only a specific set of services. So maybe if I'm in a specific location, a specific building, I only see a subset of services versus users in other areas or other locations. So this here, it's location aware, and it's also aware of who's logged in, so you can restrict what they can see based on their access level, user level, and also make it easier for them to find what they need. So they're not going to see a bunch of data that may not be relevant, may not be applicable to their job role or to their site, and they can see only the items that they can request, that they can submit. So for the demo today, I'm going to start here pulling up our service catalog. And what the service catalog does, you can configure it to display a list of all the available request types and services that you want to provide to all your users. So based on their access, location, you can display a list of all the different services that you want to make available to that specific user. And each one of those service types here can have a different form, a different set of information that you can capture in order to fulfill that request. I'm going to use an HVAC issue today as an example. So Julie, she's having an issue with an HVAC system in one of their rooms, and she wants to report that issue and make sure that it gets resolved and gets it fixed. And so as I start filling out the form here, I can start filling out. You can see the information for the user is already pre-filled since Julie was already logged in. And you also have the ability to allow users to submit requests on behalf of other people in their organization. So I can submit requests not only as Julie, but other people who are connected to my organization or user group, so that if I'm not the main contact for that specific asset or issue that I'm reporting on. And you also can submit, pull up a list of assets that are linked to my record. So if Julie is responsible for managing certain equipment types or assets, that makes it easy for her to just specify exactly which asset, which equipment she's having an issue with, so that we can connect, pull up a history of that asset, and know exactly what the model type, what parts may be needed for the repair, so that once the technician shows up on site, they'll be there with the right equipment, the right parts, and hopefully avoid multiple trips to solve the issue with the equipment. And so she's just reporting she has an issue with the thermostat. I can also select a location. So if I didn't have a specific asset and I just wanted to pull up, link it to a location, I can also do locations as well and just submit those requests for specific building or office or conference room. And then here you can also enter some additional details on the description, and I have the ability to allow users to schedule those appointments. So Julie needs to be on site for that repair, to talk with the technician and help show them what the issue is. You can define the appointment windows based on the availability and time it takes to make those repairs, and allow Julie to select a specific time when she's going to be available. She's going to be able to let the technician into her office or lab room and help him resolve the issue. And also I can also add attachments to all of those requests. So especially if I'm on my cell phone, I can take a picture of the issue, show exactly what the problem is and where the problem is occurring. So if it's outside a building and it may be hard to specify exactly where the problem is, I can take a picture, and that can help all your field workers, technicians to know exactly what the problem is and save them a lot of time instead of having to hunt down where the location is. And once I submit this request, it's going to trigger a workflow in our platform, and it's going to, based on the type of request, the location, the skill set required to resolve this request, it's going to try to find the best person available to do this job. And it's going to automatically assign it if someone is available. So here you can see we already confirmed an appointment. So we assign this to a technician and automate as much of that process as possible. So in an ideal scenario, there is no manual intervention from the time Julie submits a request and it gets assigned to someone. However, you still have the ability to override, reprioritize those requests if needed. If an urgent issue comes up, you can prioritize, push that up higher on the list and assign it to someone immediately and reorder some of the existing workload for your team. So this initial section here, so this was for the portal. So now I'm going to switch to the dispatcher view. So this here, so now on the screen here, I have, this is the view that a supervisor or manager who's responsible for dispatching and managing the work of one of your field workers teams. They can see this on this workspace here, a list of all their team members and all the tasks, the activities they have planned for the day or week. And also a list of all the pending and open items that still need to be manually scheduled. So I can click on one of those items here. It's going to show me who has availability and who has a skill set, how far away they are from that task. And also here I can look at all the details from the task. I mean, have estimated travel duration, work duration. And you can assign specific skills and parts that are required to complete that job. So that makes it, you can check before you send someone out on the field to make sure they have the right equipment, the right parts, and help prevent visits back and forth to a storage room or warehouse where they need to pick up some of those repair parts. I can also look at this in a mapping view, so I can look here and see exactly where all the technicians they are located. So if you have a wide service area that you need to manage, you can see where everyone is at, and also look at all the open tasks and open items. So here I can pull up the status of any one of the open items that I have for today, and also look up for all of my team members to see if they are on schedule, if they're running behind or ahead. And that can help me manage my team better, make sure that they have enough work, or if some job took longer than expected, I can reassign some of those tasks to someone else on my team. So this here is how the manual task assignment can be managed. But as I said, I mean, most of the time this is going to be automated. And this scheduling, dispatching capability is more just a tool for supervisors just to monitor and override things for certain emergency requests. In addition to having requests being started from a user, like submitting a repair ticket or an issue where they can open a ticket, we also have the ability to create maintenance plans. And this here can help you have scheduled inspections, repairs for all your equipment and facilities. So here, for example, I have a maintenance plan for an HVAC unit. And based on the model type or equipment type, you can create those maintenance schedules and assign it to all your different assets. And this is going to automatically trigger work orders and assign it to technicians so that they can do like a 6-month service or a 12-month check on this HVAC system. So that ensures that all your equipment is going through the proper maintenance procedures. I can also view all of the previous maintenance history for that equipment. So something goes wrong with that HVAC equipment, I can see if all the maintenance was, all the checks were performed as they should have, and if any parts were replaced or repaired, I can look that in those records here as well. So this can help you decide if certain equipment needs to be replaced, or you can also run reports to determine if things are breaking more often than they should, and analyze the repair costs for all your assets and all your equipment. And talking about reports, within our application, we have a full set of analytics reports that are available out of the box. So we have a few hundred reports that are built in that you can leverage. And you can also create your own reports. So this here is just a sample dashboard that show you, gives you real-time view on all the open work orders, the time it's taking to resolve all those different tasks. And you can also do things like looking at the plan versus actual duration for all your work order tasks. So this here can help you plan your workforce level. So if you need to make some add more staff or make sure you have enough people to respond to all your work orders, you have all the data here that can help you analyze and see like what types of requests you're getting, how long it's taking to resolve those requests, and identify any bottlenecks or issues within your process. So I'm going to stop sharing my desktop here, and I'm going to switch to my mobile device. To show you the mobile application that the technicians can use to look at a list of all their tasks and all the work that they need to do on a daily basis. So we have a mobile application that's available for Android and Apple devices. And this application also works in offline mode. So if a lot of times your technicians may be in a remote location or in a basement where they may not have internet access or cell phone access. And so what they can do is download a list of all the tasks, the items that they need to work on at the beginning of the day, make all their updates as they're doing their work. And then once they're back in the office, they can upload a list of all those tasks and update the system once they have internet connectivity. But what this application does, it makes it really easy for those technicians to see all the items, all the work that they need to do, and also keep track of everything that's been done, including track of all the parts that were used. They can look up knowledge. They can look up inventory from nearby team members or local warehouses. And that can help while they're out in the field, make sure that they can do the job while they're on site instead of having to go back or having to reschedule a visit because they don't have the right equipment or right parts. So as part of this main screen here, I can do things like I can look at my upcoming schedule. So if I want to see what tasks I have coming up later this week, I can look all the different items that were assigned to me. And also look at all the work items that I have on a map, so I can see exactly where I need to go next, and also for my team members as well. So if maybe I'm done early for the day, and I may be able to do some additional work, I can see a list of open tasks that haven't been completed yet, and I can pull up one of those tasks and start working on it. And we also have the ability to look at my personal inventory. So I can see a list of all the items that I have with me or on my truck, where I can see all of the different parts and items that I have. And I can also keep track of defective items. So if I removed a defective item that maybe needs to be, has a special disposal procedure, you can keep track of that asset throughout its entire life cycle, like from the installation while it's in use, and make sure that it's being disposed properly. And also from the inventory, if I find that I don't have something that I need, I can do a search to look at nearby items. So here, if I just need some network cables, I can search for nearby users or like team members or warehouses where it's going to show me where I can get this part quickly. So instead of having to go back to a main office or ordering a new part, if someone else on my team has the part that I need, I can contact them quickly and see exactly where that is. And as I start, I'm going to start working on this HVAC request here. once the request gets assigned to a field technician, I have the ability to keep track of things like my travel time. So if I want to keep track of how long I need to travel to a specific location, I can do that. You can assign special handling notes to each one of those tasks or customers. So if you have a specific instructions, and this can be based on the user making the request or the location, I can assign I can have special notes here for the technician so that when they show up on site, they know what to do. And then once I'm on site, ready to start a job, I can start my work here. And this is going to keep track of the time that it takes to complete a job automatically. But I also have the ability to keep track of all the different parts that were used in this job, and also any incidentals that I use for this job as well. So if I need to purchase some additional parts or track my mileage, I could do that here as well. And as I use a part, so here if I select a part to use for this job, it's gonna subtract that from my personal inventory. And you can set up automated rules so that if the inventory levels fall below a specific threshold, I can automatically order more parts from a supplier. So here I have the parts that I needed. We can also support questionnaires or checklists for specific job procedures. So if you need your technicians to follow specific guides, rules, and want to make sure that they are doing their work's consistent across your entire team, those questionnaires, checklists can help you achieve that. So here I can have a set of questions on to help the technician troubleshoot the HVAC issue and make sure that they are following the right procedure for the repairs. But this can be, you can set up any type of questions, any type of process that you need to support your specific requirements. And those checklists, I mean, once they get submitted, they are saved with this work order record, so that at any time you can go back and pull up and review the checklist answers and make sure that they were completed as required, and you have the right information on them. And within this workflow, I can also look at things like if I need to ask additional questions from the user. So if I can't find the specific issue or equipment, and I need to ask Julie for more information if she's not on site, I can type in my questions, my comments here, and this gets sent as an email or text notification to Julie, so that she can help guide the technician, make sure that they find the right information. And I mean, this can be done as a private note or public note. So if I want to just add some comments here that are internal and I don't want to share it with the customer, with the end user, I can do that just in case someone else needs to finish this job or needs to do a follow-up task. I can add some data here that may help that person complete their job. And as I said, I mean, here, yeah, incidentals, I can keep track of any type of additional expenses or items that you want me to track as part of those work orders, and all of that can be saved with this record here. And also I can have knowledge articles that are associated to specific requests. So here I can look up some for specific HVAC issues or specific models. You can put those technical diagrams, procedures on this application, which can also be made available offline. So if they're in a remote area trying to figure out how to fix a specific equipment model, they can look up those those knowledge articles from this application. And So once I'm done with my work here, I can mark this here as complete. I can add some details about what the work that was done, and I have the option to even schedule a follow-up task. If something, maybe I did a plumbing repair, I had to cut up a hole in the drywall, someone else needs to come in later to fix up the drywall. You can have multiple tasks linked to a work order, and specify the order in which they need to be completed. So for more complex work tasks or workflows, you could have multiple things done either sequentially or in parallel. And once I close this task, I can capture the customer. So if for certain items I can capture signatures so that they can sign off that the job was completed, and also automatically generate PDF documents to document everything that was done, including all the different parts and items that were used to complete this work. So this again, this is just a template. You can update this template to capture the data that you need, but this document can be automatically generated, sent out to the user so that they can review it and get it in an email later on. And so this concludes the demo that we had planned for today. Let me finish the sharing here. But yeah, were there any questions on the Q&A while we're doing the demo?
Eduardo, the only the only question I see in the queue is someone asked about our FedRAMP capabilities. Can you speak to that?
Yes, yeah, our entire platform is also on we have a government cloud environment, which is it's FedRAMP Pi. We also have a DoD cloud, which is an IL4 or IL5, can be an IL5 environment. So all our application is fully FedRAMP, and it's everything's hosted in the government cloud.
Fantastic. And Heather, if you see other questions, feel free to chime in. Otherwise, that's the only one that I see. Oh,
it's FedRAMP High, so I just saw a question.
Yep.
Yeah, we have both, but you can choose which one you can. But it's ours. It's FedRAMP High.
And you can also stand up the service to run on premises if that's a preference too. We've got a lot of customers who are doing that as well.
Yeah.
So with that, the only other additional resource I had was, and Heather's going to send these slides out to everyone on the line today. We've got some links to our documentation, and we've got a dozen or so product shorts. So there'll be YouTube videos to show you how to integrate field service with project planning, like we mentioned, or resource planning or multiple day task planning. So we'll send this to you as a thank you for attending, and you'll be able to link, click right through and get that information. And Eduardo and I are here for additional questions should you have them. And with that, Heather, I'll let you close this up. I'll turn this back over to you.
Thanks, Kevin. Like Kevin said, I'd like to thank all of our participants as well as our speakers for being with us today. We hope the information you received during this webinar has been helpful.